You're welcome back. Playing a bit more bots. We're on the blue bots today. Um, Starting with an interesting one. Looks like a zero lander, but it's got a flip sync in the stupor as a land. So a few options. We could serum powder it and try and do better. I think I'm going to keep it. Um, with the plan of going gem one vault. See if that works out for starters. And then probably following up with a crawler. Um, Hoping this will find our second land drop. And then if it does, then we get to play a Bauble plus Emery. If it doesn't, we still get to just play Emery. So I think it's a good enough hand to bank on, even though it is a bit sketchy on the mana front. Mixing Bauble does not get to stop this once upon a time. That's okay. The Bauble Emery is a little sketchy because often the best thing you can do with Emery is just like loop a Mishra's Bauble or an Urza's Bauble. Um, and obviously Vexing Bauble will prevent those baubles, but if we do mill over one of those baubles, we can just crack the Vexing Bauble and go from there. Ronnie tends to play lands, but we haven't played in a while. Oh, okay. He is still playing lands, which is a little concerning as I'm... it's okay. Um, I am short on lands, so if I do get waste or stripped, we might be in trouble. But we also do have a pretty quick clock with the crawler. Um, they're going down to 16, and they will be down to taking another 5 by their next draw step, so they'll be at 11 soon enough. Draw a probe, so let's make sure to cast that one prior to playing Vexing Bauble. Okay, we do miss on land. They have Reclaimer, Grist, Green Suns, Crop Rotation, Closet, Mortuary, and Scrying. At least they don't have a good play next. Well, they can play the Reclaimer or get a Dryad Arbor. Neither of which are particularly scary, so we do miss the land drop, but we aren't under too much. We are still relatively ahead this turn cycle. We definitely need to find something off the next couple of, well, next 3 draw steps. Goes with the Reclaimer. Plays the Mortuary, and they're playing Misstep. Okay, cool. Okay, love that card. That is a welcome draw. Also not bad. Um, let's get in with the Crawler. Again, such a innocuous but like impressive card. It just kind of does 5 damage each turn cycle. If you get it down early and your opponent's dealing a bit of damage to themselves with a Thoughtseize and a fetch and what have you, like he's already at 7. It's pretty impressive. I think it's pretty obvious that we should just slam the Lodestone here, preventing a potential Grist next turn. Um, if they need to spend their turn reclaiming, then that's not the end of the world. It also um, wouldn't be a 3/4 with the current board unless he's drawn a land or he does some funny crop rotation stuff. I think all that said, we're still going to just slam this. It's a little scary exposing the Tolarian to the potential wasteland or strip from the crop rotation, but if he just spends both mana, crop rotations for a strip, kills this, he'll have a 3/4, but he's pretty far behind. Like he'll go, yeah, he would have lethal if he went with that line. assuming that he would jump, well, he'd have to block the lodestone because he'll go to 5 on my upkeep from the trigger. Um, so go to 5, he'll take 3 here, go to 2. This would ping for another 1, and then the ballista would be able to finish this off. So if this is a strip mine, we should be able to take it here. Which I think is what he's going to do. He doesn't know I have the additional point of reach in the form of the ballista, so... And obviously this Tolarian is pretty explosive at this point. But it also leaves them on very little mana to kind of catch back up. And the pings from the crawler are going to catch up with him as well. Yep, and he sees the writing on the wall and skips it up. For sideboarding against lands, it's a bit of a tricky one. There's a lot of cards that are good in some spots and kind of bad overall. Like All Is Just is probably a prime example of that, where it can be decent in a lot of spots, but if they're holding up like a Marit Lage end of turn, the sorcery speed on this is really a killer. Similar for Ugin, but I think Ugin does all of that and then some, and is also just a threat. So in all the spots where All Is Dust might be awkward, Ugin kind of makes up for that. Tanglewire is probably decent, just to time walk them a couple times. I think Dismember's good. I always want to bring in Rebuke, I find. Totem's okay, but they don't have that many creatures that I want to bring it in. Relic's definitely good. Vacuum should be decent. They're quite creature-centric, so I don't think I want to go down the Spell Pierce line. And Tormod's Crypt, again, similar to the All Is Dust, some board states it'll be an all-star, and some board states it'll be irrelevant. And I'm also packing the Relic, the Ghost Vacuum, to cover graveyards, so you don't want to over commit to taking care of graveyards. That said, we are needing to cut 6 cards. I don't think the Mox Diamond really shines when you're up against a bunch of wastelands. You can't. You just want to like have all of your lands be not be two for wanting you, and the Mox Diamond acceleration really isn't worth it when your resources are getting pressured as much as they are. I think the Bauble's pretty ordinary. Let's see. I think the Spider's a bit average. Doesn't really block that well, and they're not terrible at using the Power Stone, so let's not give them that. Let's get the Golos. They can strip mine whatever I search up. Let's see. Maybe the Forge is a bit slow. I've got the Monument as well. Monument being a little bit, it's a ramp spell that gets you from 5 to higher numbers, but you kind of just need to, like, the turns you do have the mana that you need to cast your big thing, you don't really need to have a setup turn. You just need to get something in play against them, given how many ways they've got to interact with all of your mana. Funny hand with the Solarian Academy, which is usually a card strong enough to prompt you to keep on its own, but in this hand doesn't let me do anything before turn 3. I think I have to mull this, unfortunately. This one has a powder. I think I will powder. The hand again, not hugely exciting. Let's save the City of Traders. Okay, this could be an interesting hand. We'll probably just start slow with a tapped land, and then we can go turn 2, kind of dump everything out, play the Monolith, Fleshraker, Mopal, Candelabra, or not. Be curious to see if he takes, like if he strip mines me from my hand or if he takes my Fleshraker as my main piece of action. Does take my land. I wonder if he has an oof and he's just going to lock me out before I get to do anything of note. Sylvan, Dismember, Yavimaya. This invasion. Okay, right. Dark Depths. Um, okay, do we play the Candelabra or hold it for the Fleshraker? Benefit of playing it is it gets us closer to Metalcraft for next turn. Don't think I want to. Definitely one of the downsides of playing these lands is they can just get thought seized. There's this card I didn't know about until recently that's one black. Look at your opponent's hand, take a non-basic land out of it. And I'm fearful that people are going to start playing that card. Because it's kind of nasty. Take away my Tolarian when I'm trying to like sandbag it. It sounds kind of brutal. Please don't do that against me. Curious if Ronnie's going to go for strip or waste or get the Thespian stage to set up the Dark Depths. Yeah, I think this makes sense given he knows I haven't got a heap going on. Still don't have a lot going on, even though this is a great draw. I will do what I mentioned. I think I'll play the Mopal now just to ensure I get the creature. Definitely need a big draw though to capitalize on all this mana. I think I can survive one hit from the Marit Lage by dismembering, paying a black. So I'll pay 2 life, go down to 16, make the Marit Lage token into a 15 power creature, and then go to 1. It's not a long-term solution, but it does let me live one more turn. Assume we're going to see this invasion coming through. Oh, just playing Dismember, sure. Yeah. Plays a white, sure. Now, that line I described of going to 1 against the Dark Depths is pretty bad. It buys me one more draw step, but it's kind of a losing line. I think I'd rather just use my removal spell well, hope to draw fortunately out of it. Fusion. That is quite awkward. I can untap this and then go up to 19 off my Ugin. I will do that. But now I think about it, I could have... Yeah, I probably should have held this dismember. If I had have held it, I could like... It attacks, I block, I untap the Grim, then I would go Ugin, kill the white, uptick, go to 19, and then I still have the dismember available to live at 1 against the Dark Depths. Oh no, would I? I go 19 down to 15. Oh no, I die exactly. Um, Still, it was probably a little hasty on the dismember. Need to draw Kozak's command. That doesn't help. Um, yeah, I need to tap out. Nothing to kill. This is kind of what I was talking about with the All Dust, is you end up in this spot where you need something at instant speed to interact with the Dark Depths token, but um, Ugin doesn't have flash. Should have had flash. I don't think I have any draws. K Command's the best draw, but I just don't have a way to make mana and interact. I think the 2020 will take it. Also, to hold up the dismember wasn't really possible given the mana constraints that the Ugin was posing us. I guess if I draw a land here, then maybe I'll be closer, but yeah, we're just always pretty much dead to the 20. If this was like 18, then maybe this game's quite different. Like I'd survive this next turn, but Marriage does one-shot you. Let's wrap this one up. I guess maybe the Forsaken, or there are a few things we can do in the face of the Merit Age. We can block it once. We can gain a couple life to copper hit from it to buy a bit more time. Um, that's probably one of the more common ways you actually beat it is you go like you maybe in the traditional bots, you like equip a Shadow Spear, go to like 26, cop one hit, and then untap and kill it with one of these three kind of things. Um, so getting up to like 20 plus life or 21 or more life is pretty good. Um, okay, so let's bring this. Just gonna grab all these ones I'd be considering back in. Maybe the Spell Pierce is okay. The Ballista's pretty bad. Doesn't really kill anything. Not a lot of pressure. I'm happy to cut that. Um, Be with most of these. Let me trim the Ugin actually. There's enough Devourers in this Ugin and Eldrazi Confluence. There's enough things that I'll have to pick off little creatures along the way that they're not usually going to like develop a massive board state and then I'm just going to Ugin them. I think it's more common that I'll just play one or two removal spells naturally throughout the game and then the Ugin's not going to be that appealing. So I'm not sure about the Sunring Titan. Could be quite hit or miss given the composition of the land stack. Um, Let me trim the spell pierce again. And there's one more cut at this point. Not sure. Maybe the Gadgeteer. It's a bit slow. Hmm. This seems okay. I'm gonna keep, and we're gonna roll the dice a little bit here. What I mean by that is the clown car is gonna be good to us, please. I hope. If I get the clown, I have two artifacts, and I can go Tolarian into Basalt, and then curve out pretty well. If I don't, let's go. If I hadn't, then my curve would be a lot more anemic, and I'd basically be a turn behind for the whole game, given what cards we've got currently. But now we get to go turn 2 Basalt, turn 3 Ugin, and maybe also Thought-Knot? Probably, yeah. Ronnie says he misclicked. He took a white. White's not too bad. Okay, that's a nice one. Um, cannot attack though. Buster. Hoping this just stays where it is. Leave it alone. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's good. Probably getting strip all waste in this coming turn, but we're going to absolutely take this opportunity to get Ugin down. Make a million. Make more. Do need to tap this. I think this is gonna probably be good enough to prompt a concession run. This will kill this guy. And I'll thought not off of the mana ability on Ugin. And then even if he's able to like get the spin stage here and quickly assemble Dark Depths, then um, I can just gain 3 to cop 1 hit from the Dark Depths and then cast any color spell after that to kill it. Otherwise, he could use the Merit Lage to kill the Ugin, but then I'm buying 2 or 3 turn cycles to hopefully find something. And that's all assuming he makes a Dark Depths like pretty much next turn, which he's threatening to do. So I'm a bit scared. Hopefully this Thought Knot allows us to prevent that from happening. I do not want to kill my clown. Nice, okay. And that does take it. Pretty nice draw. Very, very lucky we won the coin flip and took got the clown here. As always, my thanks to Clown Car for getting me through dark times. It really keeps me going. And that's the match. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.